Space, the new battleground for global powers. What if I told you? The race for dominance is no longer limited to land, sea, or even cyberspace. It's now above us, in orbit. Yeah, we've all got our favorite space movies, but this isn't science fiction. This is about real power plays happening right now as we speak. Satellites, space stations, lunar missions, they're not just about scientific exploration anymore. They're strategic assets, tools of national power. Today, let's decode how global heavyweights like the USA, China, Russia, and India are using space not just for development, but for domination. USA, militarizing the heavens. From the moment Sputnik launched, America has seen space as the ultimate high ground. And just like back in the Wild West, controlling the high ground means controlling, well, everything. The United States has always viewed space through the lens of supremacy, and they've put their money where their telescope is. With NASA, SpaceX, and the big guns of the US Space Force, America isn't just exploring, it's controlling. Think about it. Over 60% of the operational satellites buzzing around our planet right now wear the stars and stripes. These aren't just sending pretty pictures back home, folks. They're the backbone of global communications, GPS, surveillance, you name it. Remember those conflicts in Iraq or the more recent operations in the Middle East? Space-based intelligence was mission-critical, my friends. In the 21st century, space is the ultimate strategic perch, and the US is determined to keep its flag firmly planted up there. China's space as a weapon of disruption. Now China, they're playing a different game, and they're playing it masterfully. Their rise in space has been nothing short of meteoric, meticulously planned and ruthlessly executed. From the Beidou navigation system, their homegrown answer to GPS, to the Tiangong space station, a shining symbol of their ambition, China is building an entire alternative to the US-led space infrastructure. But let's be crystal clear. This isn't just about independence, it's about control. Back in 2007, China shocked the world by shooting down one of its own satellites. It was a not-so-subtle message. They could wage war in space, and they wanted everyone to know it. And it doesn't stop there. China's using its space tech to forge powerful alliances, dominating Africa's telecommunications networks and providing crucial satellite data to the global south. This isn't just space exploration, my friends. This is strategic influence, launched into orbit. Russia, from legacy to struggle. Now let's talk about Russia. Once upon a time, during the glory days of the USSR, they were the undisputed champions of the cosmos. Yuri Gagarin, Sputnik, it was a golden age. But times change. Today, Roscosmos, their space agency, though still a name that commands respect, is a bit like a faded boxer, still dangerous, but clearly feeling the weight of sanctions and funding issues. But don't count them out just yet. Russia's still a major player in the space game, supplying those powerful rocket engines that get everyone else off the ground. And they're not afraid to play a little space chess, supporting certain countries that might not exactly be on Santa's nice list. Their real strength? A potent cocktail of experience and, let's be honest, a touch of desperation. And in the high-stakes game of geopolitics, that's a combination that can make even the most seasoned players nervous. Chapter 4. India, the silent strategist. Now, India, they're the ones to watch. They may have entered the space race a little later than the other big players, but trust me, they're playing catch-up like nobody's business. With Chandrayaan-3, their ambitious lunar mission, and ISRO's groundbreaking Mars mission, not to mention their incredibly cost-effective launch technology, India's earned a seat at the big table of spacefaring nations. But here's the thing about India. They're playing the long game. They understand that space isn't just about rockets and satellites. It's about using technology to solve real-world problems. Their satellites are instrumental in agriculture, disaster management, keeping an eye on their borders, and even combating terrorism. And let's not forget, In 2019, they casually tested an anti-satellite missile, quietly joining that exclusive club of nations with serious space-based military capabilities. India's strategy is all about quiet, strategic development with a clear-eyed focus on defense. They may not be the loudest voice in the room, but when they speak, the world listens. Chapter 5. Space Alliances, NATO versus BRICS in orbit. Here's where things get really interesting. Space is no longer just a solo mission. We're witnessing the rise of space alliances, and these partnerships have the potential to reshape the geopolitical landscape. On one side, you've got the old guard, the NATO nations, sharing satellite data and coordinating defense protocols like a well-oiled machine. On the other side, you've got the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, slowly but surely forging their own space partnership. China and Russia are already thick as thieves up there, sharing technology and expertise. India, as always, is playing it cool, staying officially non-aligned. But for how long? As alliances shift and evolve here on Earth, you can bet they'll be reflected in orbit. The question is, who will blink first? Chapter 6. Future Wars, Satellites and Cyber Lasers. Okay, folks, buckle up because this is where things get really real. Imagine a war where the first strike isn't a missile screaming across the sky, but a blackout. Satellites, those silent sentinels we rely on every day, vanish in a blinding flash. GPS goes haywire. The internet grinds to a halt. Drones fall from the sky, blind and lost. This isn't some dystopian sci-fi nightmare, my friends. This is the new face of warfare, and it's closer than you think. Every major power on the planet is developing space-based weapon systems, anti-satellite missiles, cyber weapons designed to cripple enemy infrastructure, even those laser weapons we used to relegate to the realm of science fiction. We're talking about a potential conflict where the battlefield is thousands of miles overhead, and the casualties are data streams, communication networks, and the very fabric of our technological civilization. This isn't a future we can ignore. This is the ultimate high-stakes game, and the stakes have never been higher. Utro, the final frontier, or the ultimate power move? So, is space the next giant leap for humanity? A canvas for collaboration and exploration? Or is it destined to become the next battleground for global power? A cosmic chessboard where nations maneuver for dominance? Will we use the power of space to solve global hunger, monitor our changing climate, and push the boundaries of human knowledge? Or will we use it to spy, disrupt, and destroy? Only one thing's clear. In the arena of geopolitics today, space is no longer the final frontier. It's the ultimate power move. And the choices we make today will determine the fate of humanity among the stars.